Well, welcome everybody to Power Yoga. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share this practice with you, to be in this practice with you, and to allow this practice to really guide our path not only for the next 60 minutes, but it's an opportunity to just kind of hone our skills and hone our practice so that it allows us to carry that practice throughout our coming days and until we meet again on the mat. So I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be here. And that's actually the theme for today is gratitude. So we'll get into that in just a moment. I do have a mat and a block. If you have a block, that's fine. If you don't have a block, that's fine too, okay? We'll just make do with what we have. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. If you're following on my playlist, go ahead and start that playlist right from the very top. And then I'll guide you in terms of the Shavasana song later. I've got about 6 of them at the end, so I'll pick out one for you. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and find a spot, whether it's on our mat or just wherever we're at, a place that we can settle in, a place that we can find a little bit of comfort, whether that's seated position, lying down, or face down, child's pose. Okay, and then as we find that nice, comfortable spot, allow yourself to just do a mental body scan, just real quick. Where you holding tension? Where you holding tension? You're holding it through your jaw, you're holding it between those shoulder blades or in those shoulders. You're holding tension in your glutes, in your legs, or in your feet or toes. And just take a moment, an intentional moment to just think about releasing some of that tension, some of that muscular engagement, okay? Allowing our body to just settle in. And then from here, start to observe our inhales and our exhales. No special breath just yet, we'll get there. But just allow ourselves to start feeling what our breath feels like as it enters into our body and exits. And feeling the sensation of that breath, the coolness of the air and the warmth as it exits our body. Good. Santosha. Santosha is a Sanskrit word which means contentment or gratitude, with the idea that when we have a heart of gratitude, then what we have instantly becomes enough. As we turn our minds and we turn our thoughts to what we're grateful for, of course, we can dwell on the challenges. We can dwell on the day's stresses and anxieties. We can dwell on the fears that exist. But if we dwell instead on our blessings and dwell instead on the hope that we have and the things that we're grateful for, collectively, our gratitude is much stronger than our fears. And so what are we grateful for? What are we grateful for? It could be that we're grateful for the opportunity to be connected because we have friends, because we have classes, because we have coworkers. It's an opportunity to stay connected, to seek normalcy, and allow ourselves to spend time still doing our practice. Perhaps we seek gratitude because we have a house to clean, dishes to clean, and things to pick up. Of course, that doesn't sound so wonderful, but the wonderful part of that is we have people to love. We have people that surround us. We have a safe place to exist and live in. We have shelter, and we have food to eat. And so it's all a matter of our mindset as we shift into our realities of the day. Allowing ourselves to take some things that were previously burdens and flipping the script on those burdens so that we recognize that what we have is enough already. And that's the same thing for our practice today. How we arrive at our mats today, how we arrive at our practice. When we find gratitude of who we are, when we find gratitude of our bodies and how our bodies are prepared to move today, Then with that heart of gratitude, that mindset of gratitude, we allow our practice to be one that is caring and compassionate, and one that honors our body. In other words, we avoid forcing ourselves into postures and positions that our bodies are not meant to be in. We allow our bodies and minds to speak together so that our mind is listening to what our body has to say. And if we're in a particular posture and our hamstrings say, cut it out, they are right. But the only way to prepare that mind is to be right here and grounded in our practice today. I'm so grateful for each one of us to be right here, and I'm so grateful to continue our practice. We'll continue in a seated position. Let's go ahead and take an opportunity to get to that seated position if you're not there already. And we'll begin with a grounding breath. This is one of those breaths that will allow us to come into the present, because we have to really deliberately focus. It's called a breath of nectar, or Amrita breath, a Sanskrit word. And it works by sipping air in through pursed lips and then holding at the top for just a moment and then exhaling out through our nose. So we're going to do about 5 to 8 rounds of that. So through pursed lips, we breathe in, fill those lungs. And then we hold at the top. And then through our nose, if we're able, a long exhale, longer than the inhale. And then do that again, pursed lips, inhale. Sip that air in, feel the coolness, and then hold at the top. Lengthen that spine. Tall posture. Exhale through the nose. And hear that exhale. Hear that exhale as you feel a little bit of resistance on the roof of your mouth with that breath. Almost sounds like you're making a sigh on the exhale. And just continue to do that at your own pace. Sipping that air in, holding at the top, and then letting it go through our nose. Let's do a couple more rounds of that, and just trying to tune in to not only the feel of the breath, but the sound of the breath. Try to hear almost a little whistling on the inhale and that hold. And enjoy that space, enjoy that quiet. And then letting it go, that sigh. And one last time. And then we'll transition that breath to our 3-part breath, either in through the nose or the mouth. We're just getting a nice even tempo breath. Fill up those lungs and let it out. That breath will guide our pace and how we move today. It'll also inform us of whether we're in the postures the right way for our bodies. Practice that a couple times. I'm going to turn the lights up. We're going to get our physical practice going. Very nice. From this seated position, let's bring our hands to heart center. And with that 3-part deep inhale, fan those arms up to our sides, reach up nice and high, and then fan forward as we hinge forward. And then just drape those hands back. Again, inhale up nice and tall. And on that exhale, through the mouth or nose, that nice 3-part breath, fan forward, begin just a little bit of hinging through those hips. Give me 3 more just like that. Reach up and then hinge forward. Hinge forward. Excellent. Good. Nice and tall through those fingertips. Lengthen that spine and then exhale and bring those hands forward and through. Final time right here. Final time. Excellent. And right on down. Good. And then just begin rocking side to side. Inhaling as we bring the hands up. We're going to alternate those hands. Inhale and exhale, bring it through. Just a little bit of a sway. Just a little bit of a sway. Okay, nice and gentle as we just rock side to side. Okay, not trying to overdo anything. Just a little gentle sway. as if maybe we're in a little rowboat on a nice, gentle lake. Just go a little bit side to side here. Good. One last time, each arm. Reaching into those ribs and the sides of our body. Excellent. Let's come back to stillness and bring those hands right to the front of our shins here, seated cat and cow. And so we're going to look up, inhale, and arch our back. And then we're going to look down and round our spine and exhale. And then inhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together, even pull on those knees a little bit, or those shins. And then exhale, we can push on those legs and round that spine, engage our core. Inhale, shoulders come together. Exhale, shoulders spread away from each other. And continue to move through this. Inhale, on up, and exhale, on down. Let's do that one more time. Just getting a little bit of spine health here. Getting that spine feeling lots better. Exhale. There we go. All right, we're going to come onto our hands and knees now. I'm going to shift back to my mats. And from this all fours position, my hips are going to be directly underneath, or right above my knees, and my shoulders right above my hands. And I'm going to dig my hands into my mat just a little bit so I get nice strong hands, wrists, and forearms, and so much so that the center of my palms lightly lift up off the mats. Okay, and then from here I'm going to raise my right hand up toward the sky. Reach nice and high, inhale, and then exhale and thread the needle and bring that right hand under my left armpit to reach as far as you can. Inhale, open up your shoulders to the right side of the room. Exhale, close those shoulders down and even square up and go beyond the squareness of that mat. Okay, we'll do that about 4 or 5 times on each side. Good, inhale and exhale. Perfect. One last time on this side. Get a nice stretch up top through those shoulders, a little squeeze between those shoulder blades. Left hand this time. Let's inhale up nice and tall and exhale and thread that needle. Good. Inhale, lift, and exhale and bring that hand through. 3 more right there. Connecting that movement and our breath. Again, that breath guides the pace in which we move. So we're all going to move at a different pace because we each have different breath capacity. Outstanding. All right. We'll come back to stillness right here. We're going to draw just our right foot forward. We're going to stay on that left knee, and I'm going to turn to the side just a little bit so you see that. Just keeping the hip right above the knee, and then my right knee above the ankle. Both hands just reach up to the sky a little bit. Good. And then from here, we're going to do a nice twist. We're just going to bring that left hand to the outside of that right leg. Maybe set that left hand onto the hip and that back hand to our tailbone or around our waist. I'll face back to the front so you can see that. Okay, a little twist, a little twist. Standing nice and tall, crown of our head into our tailbone. Just hold that position right there. Good. And then as we inhale, both hands up, come back towards me, a little side bend. So that left hand reaches up, that left hand just rests on our legs. Press our hips to the left side. And just look at those left fingertips nice and high. Good. And then we're going to take a nice inhale. We'll exhale, bring both hands down to the instep of that foot, and that right hand inhales right back up to a twisted low lunge where we're just on one knee. So just reach up. Good. So it's just like that all fours we were doing with that twist, thread the needle, but we're on a knee now. Bring it back down. Good. So let's flow through this. Inhale and twist. Exhale. Inhale and side bend. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, and then inhale, right hand to the sky. Good. Bring that hand down, exhale. Inhale up and twist. Inhale up and exhale, side bend. Inhale up, hands to the instep. Inhale to twisted low lunge. Exhale that hand down one more time through that. Inhale up and gentle twist. Exhale. Inhale up and exhale, side bend. And then inhale up, in hands, exhale to the instep, inhaling the right hand up toward the sky. Exhale, step that right foot back down. Same thing onto the left side. Good. Fan those arms up. Inhale. And then exhale. We're just going to hold that twist on this side. So right hand to the outside of that left leg, maybe to our hip, back hand behind us. And stay nice and tall and breathe. Good. And then back to center. Inhale those hands up. And then exhale, left hand down. Right hand reaches this time, pressing our hips to the right wall, to the right side. Good. And just look at those hands if that works for you. Take an inhale and then exhale, both hands to the instep. This time inhaling now that left hand up to the sky, twisted low lunge, hold for just a moment right there. Exhale, bring that hand down. And we're going to flow through that 3 times. So inhale up, gentle twist, face the left. Inhale up, side bend, drop that left hand. Exhale, hips to the right. Inhale up, exhale, hands to the instep. And then inhale that left hand nice and high, twisted low lunge. Exhale that hand from the sky. Inhale up, nice and high. And twist, twist, exhale. Inhale up. And exhale, side bend, dropping that left hand down. Inhale up, hands to the instep on the exhale. Inhale that left hand up toward the sky and bring that hand down on the exhale. One more time. Inhale up and a gentle twist. Inhale up and a side bend, left hand comes down. And then inhale up, exhale, both hands to the instep of that foot. Inhale that left hand high, and exhale, both hands down. Perfect. Good. From this all fours, step those feet back, curl those toes, high plank position, and let's find our first downward dog. So we're going to keep those hands and feet right where they're at, ears between those arms, hips up toward the sky, and begin alternating those heels once you get in downward facing dog. We got strong arms, long spine, crown of our head to our tailbone, and strong legs and feet. Keep those hands digging into those mats as best you can. And those arms nice and long without locking the elbows. Good. All right. From here, a little stillness. Let's step forward to the front of our mats. And inhale up nice and tall. And exhale right back to heart center. Very nice. Good. I'm going to keep to the side here. Let's bring our hands behind our back and interlock those fingers. If you're unable to do that, there's nothing wrong with you, I promise. Just set those hands right there on your hips. Okay, so once we get those hands in a lock, draw those hands down and away from our tailbone, just naturally squeezing our shoulder blades together, rolling them down and away from our ears. My feet are about hip distance apart, and I'm just going to forward fold with my hands right here. So I breathe in nice and tall, create length in our spine. Keep that length on the exhale as I come on down. Soft bend in those knees, tailbone on the back wall. Keep that length, keep that length. And then when I get to my version of the bottom and your version of the bottom, drop the crown of your head. If it's comfortable, float those arms up toward the sky. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. That's a good option, right? That's right. Good. And just allow ourselves to settle into this forward fold position. Our heads below our hearts. And that's good for our heart rate, and it's good for our stress levels. If it's comfortable for you now, you can release those hands. Release those hands on down towards the ground, or that block on the ground, or wherever you have to bring that floor a little bit closer to your hands. Good. Now follow my lead here. We're going to drape those hands across those legs and rest those hands above the knees. Above the knees. We're going to do a standing version of cat and cow. So we're going to look up and bring our tailbones up toward the sky, squeeze those elbows toward each other and those shoulders toward each other, and then exhale and look down, pressing those hands and the legs round that spine. Inhale, look up, even dropping down a little bit into those legs, and then exhale as we lengthen and push. Good. You know what this is called? This is called twerk asana. Twerk asana. It's a yoga version of twerking right here. Okay, I know some of you are chuckling right now. You never know what's going to come out of Dave's mouth. And yeah, you put him on Facebook Live, who knows what's going to happen. Good. Inhale, look up, and exhale, and look down. Excellent. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. And final time on this Tvarkasana right here. There we go. Hey, if we can't have some fun, what can we have, right? Good. Inhale those hands up nice and tall and exhale to heart center. Because I've got a wide audience today, we're going to do 3 versions of a Sun A. Okay, first one's plank to down dog. So let's follow my lead. Hands to heart center, shoot those hands up nice and tall. Inhale, and then exhale and forward fold down. Inhale up to that flat back, nice long spine. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank. Without moving those hands or feet, press back to down dog. Ears between those arms. Look forward, inhale, step forward. Exhale, bend those knees and inhale, sweep. Nice and tall, right back to heart center. Let's do that one more time, and then I have some variations I want to do. Inhale, up, and exhale, come on down. Inhale, up, flat back, and exhale, step back to plank to downward dog. Stay right here in down dog. Don't move, don't move, don't move. And we're going to come back to plank, and then next time we go to down dog, reach your right hand towards your left foot, ankle, shin, or knee. Reach back, so we're twisted down dog, okay? And then begin alternating plank and left hand to right leg, okay? You know, no need to touch that leg. Just point to it and say, there you are, okay? But if you can reach it, that's fine too. Good. Shoulders hovering above those hands, and even slightly in front of those fingertips as we rock forward into that plank. Excellent stuff right there. Good. We'll do that one last time on each side. And that'll be our first version, just plank to down dog. So if that's the version that works for you in Sun A's and our vinyasa flows, as we meet back to downward facing dog, let's inhale and step forward. And of course you stick with that version, or I got 2 more coming at us. Inhale up and exhale to heart center. This next one adds a locust pose. Inhale up and exhale forward fold. Inhale up to flat back and exhale, step back to plank. Let's lower all the way down to the ground. Hands back by the hips. Peel the shoulder and chest off the mat and those feet off the mat. Neutral spine looks straight down at the ground. Good. Exhale everything down. Press up to plank. Try and do that together, the whole body. Exhale to down dog. Inhale as we step forward. Exhale, sink into those legs and sweep up nice and tall. Right back to heart center. One more time on that one. Inhale up and exhale and fold. Inhale up, flat back. Exhale, hands down, step back and lower all the way down. Again, hands come back, locust pose. Neutral spine, squeeze into that lower back. Exhale, release down. Push the whole body up at the same time, plank, or through the knees. Exhale, down dog, and inhale, step forward. Exhale, bend those knees and sweep up nice and tall. Exhale to heart center. Or the full on Sun A with the Chaturanga. Inhale up and exhale and fold. Inhale up, flat back, and exhale, step back. That Chaturanga is the half push-up, but first we inhale and rock forward, shoulders come in front of those fingertips. That protects those shoulders. Then we either stay on our toes or come to our knees for a half push-up. Half push-ups means shoulders to elbows are parallel to the ground. As we look up, we inhale, and we're either cobra on our knees or on the shoelace side of our feet, legs up for upward facing dog. As we exhale, press back to downward facing dog, ears between those arms, strong hands. And then inhale, step or hop forward, sink into those legs, sweep up nice and tall, fill those lungs, and exhale to heart center. Let's do that 4 more times, or any of those versions that you want. You get to choose. Inhale up and exhale, fold. Inhale up, flat back, and exhale, come on back. Inhale, rock forward. Remember to do that. Exhale, that half push-up, or not. Remember, you go plank to down dog. Inhale, look up, and exhale, face back down. Inhale, step or hop forward. Sink into those legs and exhale, and sweep those hands nice and tall, right back to heart center again. Inhale up, and exhale, fold. Inhale up to that flat back. Hands down, step it back to plank. Okay, nice and gentle flow. Move at your own pace. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, half push-up. Inhale, look up. And then exhale, face back down. Inhale as we step forward or hop forward. Exhale into those knees. And sweep. Reverse that swan dive. Reach nice and high. Right back to our heart center. Inhale, lift, and exhale on down. We got 2 more of these. Inhale, up to flat back. And exhale, press it back to plank. Again, inhale forward, exhale down, inhale, look up, and exhale back to double D, down dog. Inhale as we step or hop forward, sink into those legs, and bring those hands to the sky. Exhale to heart center. Reach up nice and high. You may not catch a star, but you're not going to catch mud either. Exhale and fold. Inhale up, flat back, and exhale, hands down, step back. Let's go through a vinyasa flow, whichever one you designed for you today. And we're going to meet back in downward facing dog and stay right there. Good. From downward dog, let's take a moment. Let's drop to our knees. Let's come to the shoelace side of our feet. Spread those knees out to our mat's edge. And then just walk our hips back to our heels. Very nice. Child's pose. If you want a little variation on child's pose, bring those hands together in prayer, elbows down on the ground, and create a shark fin, a little shark fin up top, a little jaws, and then just sink into it a little bit, bringing those triceps down towards the ground, biceps up toward the sky, to feel a stretch in through those triceps and our shoulders. Whew. This allows us to connect back with that breath. Just takes a moment for ourselves. But throughout the rest of our practice, we can always come right back to this spot. Always right back to this position. The most restful state position that we've got. Good. All right. Let's spread those fingers. Let's curl those toes. Let's come back to plank and then downward facing dog. That right foot's going to float up toward the sky, three-legged dog. And we're going to bring that right foot forward, set it between our hands. Now, if that foot just comes halfway forward, who cares? Grab that foot and just move it forward, okay? Place it where you want. And then glue that back heel down on the ground and float on up, Warrior One pose. Warrior One pose. I'm going to face you, okay? Both feet down, heels to toes, shoulders rolled down away from our ears. Hips slightly coming forward, but those shoulders are squared up as best they can. All right. I'm going to turn to the side again. You stay facing me. Okay, so from this Warrior One, remember how we interlock those hands in that forward fold? Let's bring those hands behind our back, interlock those fingers, and then draw those hands down and away from our tailbone, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Okay, so we're going to something called toppled tree. Toppled tree. So from here, we're going to set our ribs on top of our right quad. Okay, so begin hinging forward and just set the right side of your ribs on top of your quad. And start rolling, picking up that back heel and rolling onto the ball of that left foot. Keeping that right knee bent as best you can. Create that shelf with those ribs and then float that left leg up off the ground, just looking straight down as best you can. A little balance and a ton of strength on that leg. It's called toppled tree. With those hands, bring those hands on down to the ground now and begin lengthening that right leg and float that left leg up to the sky as much as you can. Opening up the hips. Opening up the hips. They don't need to be squared, okay? So if I have a flashlight on my belly button, it's facing away from the floor right now. Okay. Nice and high with that back left foot. From here, we're going to do 5 to 8 Kundalini squats. That's your choice. And so we're going to tap that left ankle to that right ankle and then lift that left heel back up, standing splits or however high you want. Okay, a little squat and press it back. Just make sure those right knees are going towards those toes. Right towards those toes. Good. I'm just going to do 5 right here. And then when I'm done with these, I'm just going to step back and find runner's lunge. Runner's lunge. Now I'm going to stay up off that back knee. You can always come down on that back knee. Okay? I'm going to then bring my hands to the instep of my front foot, turning to face you. Good. And then inhale that right hand up toward the sky. Twisted low lunge. Reach up nice and high. Whew. Very nice. Very nice. Good. Squeeze between those shoulder blades. A squeeze between those legs as we're scissoring those legs together. Don't let that right knee flare out. Bring it in. Bring it in. All right. To exhale that right hand down.
step back to plank position. Let's do our version of a vinyasa flow, and we'll meet back in downward facing dog. From downward dog, bring that left heel up toward the sky. Three-legged dog, bring that left foot through and set it between those hands. Again, if you gotta grab that foot, do what you gotta do. Good. Both feet to the ground, heels to toes. All right. I'm just gonna stay to the side here because that's where we're heading, okay? All right. Just make sure on that warrior one, you see this alignment right here, knee right above those ankles. Good. And then knee pointing towards those pinky toes. Okay? Good stuff right there. It's all about good alignment. Knees and shoulders, that's what gets injured in yoga, okay? We gotta protect them. Let's bring those hands behind our back now. Interlock those hands. Again, you can just rest them on your glutes if you want. All right? And then draw those hands down and away from our tailbone. Drawing those shoulders down and away. Good. Now we're gonna set the left side of ribs on top of that left quad, toppled tree. So lean in and create that shelf. And then with that back foot, that right foot, just start playing around with just rolling onto the ball of that foot. Okay, make sure we have that stability on that left side, and then float that right foot up off the ground. Okay, no more than parallel. Okay, I can't see. I have a mirror, but I can't see. So it doesn't matter, just what feels right. Neutral spine, looking straight down. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release those hands and bring them to the ground. Lengthen that left leg. Standing splits now. Standing splits. That right leg is coming up to the sky as high as you can make it go. Okay? Which means our hips are opening up, and that's okay. All right. Well, that's good. And now 5 to 8 Kundalini squats. I'll just guide us through 5. So we're going to tap those ankles together. Left knee towards those toes and drive that right heel back up to the sky. Good. 5 to 8 of these. You get to choose. This is your practice today. 2 more. Excellent work right here. Good. As we complete these, come back down to that runner's lunge. Knee still right above that ankle. Very nice. I'm going to face back to the front. Okay. So we can always set that right knee down. I'm going to stay on my toes for this one. And then twisted low lunge, left hand. Inhale it up. Make sure that left knee is going towards our heart. And just stacking through those shoulders. Opening up our heart to the left side. Squeezing between those shoulder blades. Everything's engaged. Scan your body right now. Is there a part of the body that's not engaged? If it's not engaged, then get it engaged. Get it working. Good. Exhale, both hands down. Let's step back to plank position. Good. And then down our vinyasa flow. Vinyasa flow, your version of that vinyasa flow. We'll meet in downward dog. Right foot sweeps up toward the sky. 3-legged dog. Bring it through. Let's find warrior 2. Warrior 2. So that right foot is pointing straight ahead, onto the side, but you're pointing straight ahead. Knee towards those pinky toes, and that back foot is perpendicular to that front foot. Deep into that knee, arms out nice and long. Okay, very nice. So let's add a little dynamic here, okay? Let's bring our hands to prayer and lengthen that front leg. And then we're gonna push our hands out and sink into that leg. And then bring our hands to prayer and inhale. And exhale, push, like we're driving the walls away. And inhale, like we're grateful for the day. And exhale, and push, and inhale, and lift. One last time, push, and lift. Then we're gonna rebend that knee and come to right angle pose. So again, knee hovering over the ankle, right forearm on top of that leg, back hand up toward the sky, and just keep it right there for now, because we're gonna do something a little bit different, okay? So we're gonna close down and lift up. So what that means is that left hand is gonna clap that right hand, come down, and then open back up. Okay, now if you wanna lower that hand, that's fine, just still keep clapping that hand. So we'll do this 5 times. Close down, and then lift up. Still focusing on being perpendicular to the ground, okay? Don't overdo it. Don't try to over-rotate and open back up. That's not doing us any favors, folks. It's not doing us any favors. Okay, one last time. right here and settle in right angle pose. And then a nice big inhale as we bring that right hand up toward the sky. Good. Backhand resting on the leg. We're in reverse warrior now. And then that backhand's either on the leg or on the tailbone or wrapped around our waist. The dynamic here is all about mercy. Straighten that leg and sink down back into it. Making sure our knees are going towards the toes. Inhale up and exhale. Give me 3 more just like that. Keep reaching, especially as we lengthen that leg. See if you can reach a little bit higher. Excellent job. All right. One last time, bend that knee, and as we straighten the leg, keep it straight. Soft bend in that knee, arms to warrior 2, arms triangle pose. Reach as far forward, hips going to the back of the room, body moving in opposite directions, and then tip over. See all I'm doing there? That's it. Tip over. Good. And then the dynamic in triangle pose, my hands resting above or below my knee, okay, is an extended triangle and a lift. So bicep to the ear, reach overhead, and then lift up to the sky. And do that 4 more times. Reach and lift. There we are. 3 more. Really feel that rib expansion. Good. Inhale or exhale, reach and inhale, lift. One last time. There we go. Exhale and inhale. Let's put a bend in that knee, cartwheel those arms around and down. We'll find another vinyasa flow and meet back in downward facing dog. Right back to downward facing dog. Okay. We're going to do that same thing in the other direction. From downward dog, go ahead and float that left foot up toward the sky and then bring that left foot through to the front, warrior 2. So left foot pointing right towards the front and that right foot perpendicular to that left. Deep bend in that knee, arms out nice and wide, ears over shoulders, over hips. Good. Good alignment on our upper trunk. Good. And now bring our hands to prayer and lengthen that front leg. And add that dynamic as we push our hands away, we sink into it. And inhale and lift. Exhale, press. Maybe a little stretch on the inside part of that leg. And we'll do that 3 more times. Exhale, push. And inhale, lift. Good. Knee right above the ankle. Doing great. Last one. Awesome. Let's find right angle now. Rebend that knee, left forearm to the top of the leg to initially, and that back hand up toward the sky. Now you can always crawl that left hand deeper into, towards the ground or on that block, or just leave it right there. Just expose that hand, because we're going to clap those hands together. Exhale as we close down. Inhale as we come back and be perpendicular. Exhale down and inhale and lift. Good. 3 more just like that. Outstanding work right there. Good. Just a little bit of a different way to get into some of these postures to help open up our bodies. A lot of shoulders today. A lot of shoulders. You may be noticing that. And that's good because we're probably hunched over a lot in these seated positions. From here, inhale that left hand up towards the sky. With what we're doing, we're either reading. I know what I'm doing. And that's reading a little and staying on electronics a lot and hunching my shoulders over whatever it is that I'm reading or staring at. And so to work those shoulders and stretch them out. Good. Hey, how about we lengthen that leg? How about Dave stop talking and get us moving again? And then exhale and sink back in. Inhale and lift, reach higher. And exhale, come on down. Good. We'll do that a total of 5 times. Reaching just a little bit higher in that reverse warrior. Good. And on that last time, bend and then stay. Keep that leg long, soft. Bend in that knee, arms, warrior 2 arms. Big inhale and exhale, reach as far forward as you can. Again, hips going to the back. Good, in opposite directions, then tip over, triangle pose. And we'll add that dynamic to triangle. Just extending the triangle, right bicep to the ear, overhead, and then inhaled up toward the sky. And allow that to just reach into the top side of our body, in through those ribs. Into those ribs, right down to the hips. Can you feel that top hip lifting? Can you feel as if there's a string attached lifting you up toward the sky? Awesome. Awesome. One more time.
There we are. Good. A little bend in those knees. And then step forward towards the front of our mats. Outstanding effort right there. Good. So I've got a little bit of a balance sequence for us. And if you have a block, go ahead and set that block on end like that, nice tall setting on that block, so to speak. And if you have a glass table nearby, don't do everything we're gonna do, okay? All right, or move the table, because it's gonna require some balance, and I don't want you, So there's 3 options to this one. Right foot's gonna stay on the ground. We're gonna go to a quad stretch, dancer pose, and a bound half moon. So I'll start with the quad stretch. Right foot on the ground, left heel to the glute, and we're gonna stay right here. We're gonna stay right here initially. Knees side to side, hips forward. And this might be it for you, and that's fine, okay? Be grateful for what we're able to do today, honoring our bodies. Okay, dancer pose, as we're gonna bring that hand to the instep. You can keep it to the outside if you want. Actually, I'm sorry, keep that hand to the outside. I want it right there. Keep it to the outside. My apologies. Just don't let that knee flare out. And then find dancer pose. Find dancer pose. So reaching forward and pressing that left foot into that left hand and opening up our bodies. Good, good. And now from here, if it's comfortable, we're gonna find half moon pose with that bounce. So that right hand then is gonna find the top of that block. And then our heart, our hips are gonna open up and face the side of the room. Trying to create a straight line from our shoulder through to our hips and to our knee. Okay? I'm trying to look at you. I'm trying to look at you. Okay? This is challenging. This is challenging. When you are ready to come out, we gently dismount slowly. Awesome. Oh, all right. See why I didn't want you near a glass table? Okay. All right, same thing other side. Same thing other side. All right, so left foot's on the ground. Quad stretch. Quad stretch. Okay, again, welcome to stay right in this spot here. Okay? All right. And then let's find dancer. Again, keep the hand right there. I'm fine with dancer on the hand on the outside, okay? Textbook says one thing. Dave's book says do your thing, okay? And then press that ankle into your hand and reach in the opposite direction, okay? You might stay right here. Or if you got something to set your hand on, find that half moon. And then open up your heart and your hips to the side. Make your body long through your shoulders and hips and knee. See, I can look at you on this side. The other side was not going to happen. Exhale and gently release. Whew! Nice job right there. Okay? All right. Whew! Okay. All right. This next one's called head to knee. Head to knee. Okay, so we're going to start with our right foot on the ground, and we're going to grab both arms around the front of our left knee, and just lifting that knee up. Now again, here's some options. Stay right here if you want to, okay? Suit yourself. If it works for you, it's awesome. It's a great stretch, right? Otherwise, walk your hands down the feet towards those ankles. We're going to grab onto the arches or heels of your foot. And hold that position, okay? Step number 3 is lengthen that leg. Lengthen that leg and stay balanced as best you can. Now, if you feel yourself falling out, that's where you're meant to be today, okay? But just release out and make sure you softly control that descent, okay? And that descent, isn't that a nice word to say, crash landing? Okay, and that's okay, right? Because this is how we treat balance, okay? It's not something we take so seriously and grimly. If we can't do this, let's exhale and come out. We treat it lightly. We treat it as just another something that we're doing, okay? And sometimes we're able to get into it really well, and other times, no bueno, and that's fine, okay? Just brush it off. Left foot down, right foot, our right knee coming up, hands, both hands together in front. I almost started singing hands, touching hands, reaching out, Okay, all right. Head to knee. So we can stay right here. Can walk on down, grab into that arch or heel. Okay, that's step number 2. Step number 3, lengthen that leg. And just see what happens, okay? I come out, and that's okay. But what's more important is how you come back into it. All right. Look at that, I got video evidence now of falling out of that pose. And guess what? It don't matter. It don't matter. Exhale and release before I fully fall out. Huh. Alrighty, let's make our way down to the ground and find child's pose. So I'm not going to guide us there. You just get there. You know how to get down to the ground. And we'll come down to child's pose. As we get to child's pose, separate those knees, maybe those feet in a little bit more narrow. Each one of us has our own version of child's pose. And just walk those hands out front. Maybe the bridge of your nose onto the ground. And then from this child's pose, let's just walk those hands over to the right corner of our mat. And then sit back in a nice stretch on the left side of our body. Breathe in, expand those lungs and feel that stretch. Nice deep breath. And then same thing other side. Walk to center and then the hands to the left corner of our mat. Opening up the right side of our body, hips still to the heels, angled to child's pose. And breathe in, expand those lungs. And let it out. Very nice. We're going to engage us in just a little bit of some core work right here. This one's called rabbit pose, rabbit pose. So I'm going to turn to the side. Okay, so from that child's pose, we're going to curl our toes. Okay, we're going to curl our toes. And then we're going to take one hand back and grab onto our heel. From here, we're going to squeeze our abs so that when we reach back the other hand, we have some stability to grab the other heel. And we're rounding our spine as we keep those abs squeezed and trying to just avoid the crown of our head touching the ground. Okay, just try to skim off the ground a little bit. Now, I've seen this done multiple ways where some folks set their head down or some folks try to keep their head so low to where you can slide a piece of paper under it. I don't know if it fully matters. Okay, so if you're setting your head down, that's fine. But the way I was kind of taught to do this was try to engage that core a little bit extra and make it more of a core engaging move. To come out of this, release one hand at a time and gently come out. Perfect. Let's find a seated position. All right. I'm going to turn to a slight angle right here so you can see what I'm doing. Toes toward those shins. Another core engaging move right here is keep the hands to the side, palms on the ground, fingertips forward towards those feet of ours. Inhale nice and tall and just exhale and hinge. Exhale and hinge forward. Okay, and squeeze those abs. Try and go as far forward as you can. Okay, in order to go a little bit further, we got to squeeze those abs a little bit more. See where you can go with this one. Keep going. And then exhale and release. Good, now let's add the arms and see how far we can go now. Inhale up, and then exhale and reach. Whoa, look at that difference, huh? Good. And when we can reach no further, we either grab onto those feet or those ankles or shins, or just rest those hands beside the legs and just settle in to a nice, relaxing, forward-fold pose. On our next exhale, we'll go ahead and release. Okay. I'm going to turn to the side here. Excuse my voice right there. Fingertips still facing the feet. We're going to put a bend in those knees, feet flat on the floor right in front of us. We're going to take that left ankle, toes toward the shins, and put that left ankle on top of that right knee. Dropping that left knee down. Okay? And so from here, a seated pigeon. Okay? You can also have gotten there from a straight leg and just crawled that leg up. And then if you want to, tabletop pigeon. If you want to,
Lift those hips. Keep those shoulders above those hands. And drop that left knee down. And then just a nice neutral spine. Just settle into this. Now don't let that head fall into the turtle shell. Got to keep those strong shoulders right there. So keep the head out of that turtle shell. This is not turtle pose. This is tabletop with a little pigeon. Okay. And very nicely done. Let's come on out of that. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Same thing on the other side. Again, we can bring that right toes toward the shins from that straight leg or that bent leg. Just bring that right ankle above that left knee. Okay? And then from here, keep those hands right there, fingertips facing those feet. Lift those hips. Squeeze through those glutes in our lower back and then let that right knee drop down towards the ground. I'm going to face you just so you can get a view of what that looks like. I think you have a pretty good idea of what we're doing here anyway, but I figured I'd show you a front view because I just love this stretch. This one feels pretty good. All right. And then exhale and release. Good. Let's keep our legs bent. Let's keep our legs bent. And then just curl up into a little ball here, wrapping our arms around those legs. Okay, and then from that ball, just lift those heels up a little bit. And, what version of boat should we do? I'm debating on whether to just go straight to boat or we rock the boat. Let's rock the boat. Okay, so we're going to tuck our chin into our chest. We're going to rock back onto our mats and come on up and then find boat. And let's do that again 4 more times. Rock back and on up and find boat. Good. Back and up, little core. Around that spine, tuck that chin into your chest as you roll around. Grab onto those legs. Stop that momentum and find that boat. One last time. Right here. Outstanding. Hold that boat. And then release. Very nice. We're going to come onto our backs. So I know, lock those ankles, grab behind those knees. Slow descent on down. Knees to chest. And we're going to go into a little twist right here. So let's release that left leg, lengthen that left leg all the way out, heel down to the ground. Take that left hand then and drape it across that right knee and pull that right knee or draw that right knee across our body. Across our body. Taking that right hand and pointing it out to the right side and then look at that right hand so that we're looking in the opposite direction of where that right knee is going. Trying to maintain a little contact with both of our shoulder blades. So you have to move your hips around a little bit. Go ahead and pick them up and move them around. But try to avoid jamming ourselves into this pose. Okay, if it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel good. Right? That's sage advice right there. And then we breathe. Take 2 more breaths right here. And then we'll switch over to the other side. We'll start by bringing those knees to our chest. And then we'll lengthen just that right leg out. Lengthen that right leg out, holding onto that left knee. And then this time that right hand drapes across that left leg, and that left leg across our body. Extend that left hand out in the opposite direction and look at that hand so you're looking away from that other leg. And let's take 2 more breaths right here. And then as we come back to center, let's again make our bodies into a ball. Wrap those arms around those legs and give yourself a squeeze. Give yourself a squeeze. Show how strong you are, but then also share how much love you have for yourself. After all, that's why we're here today. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as hard as you can, and keep holding for 3 and 2 and done. And let's find Shavasana, final relaxation. Onto our mats. Onto our mats. Very nice. And as we get into final relaxation, Shavasana, just allow your body to fully be committed right on your mats. To feel completely right there on your mat beneath you. Whether that's lying down, you can also be seated. Allow that breath to just become a natural, everyday breath. Close your eyes if it's comfortable. And seek the ability to find some stillness. Shavasana song is Lost Without You if you're following along on the playlist. That'll be a nice finish. And as we find the comfort of our mats and the conclusion of our practice, this is a fitting way to end our practice, a way that brings us right back to restful states and stillness. Because when we're still, when we have the opportunity to have space, it gives us the opportunity to really take stock of where we're at and how we are. Because oftentimes, when we're just running around, when we're doing our thing, and there's nothing wrong with doing our thing, but how often do we get the opportunity to take that moment, to have this space, so that we can discover how good we really have it, how grateful we really are. And so we discover those things. And it gives us those opportunities to find appreciation. Gives us those opportunities to find how truly blessed each one of us really are. Gives us an opportunity to take some of those things that weigh heavily on our minds, some of those things that we either can control or can't control. And it allows us to start discerning between those things. Perhaps allowing us to lighten our load a little bit. Perhaps allowing us to draw in those things that are good for us, that are helpful, that are beneficial. And the more opportunity we get to do that for ourselves, the better we become for ourselves and those that we care for. As we find our calmness in our body, it allows us to calm our minds as well. And our calm mind is the ultimate weapon against any challenges that we might face. Being able to have the strength and the skill to stay calm and to respond to the challenges that face us in a meaningful and mindful way. When we can't calm the storm, we calm ourselves instead. And then we wait for that storm to pass. Our closing message today. Never let a day pass without looking for the good, without feeling the good within you and around you, without praising where you're at and how truly blessed we are, and without finding that appreciation for who you are and how you are, allowing ourselves to fully and completely be grateful. I honor the love and light in each of you as it's also within me. Namaste.